Good morning. I hope all of you are doing well, and I mean that. Out here enjoying a delicious cold brew, no sugar, just a cold brew on ice, highly concentrated, and thinking about what I want to post for today. Didn't really have to think about it. As soon as I woke up, I said, Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. There you have it. And while I'm at it, might as well mention the rest of their albums, or some of their other albums, not all of them, but this one, which is a fun one, yeah, definitely a great one. And we can't forget their first album. But for today, this is the one, my favorite track on here, Sabracadabra. It's great. I mean, of course we all love Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, but it wouldn't be fitting to mention any other band today. It's hard to believe that I actually filmed that 5 years and 1 day ago, but it was on a Sunday. So originally I posted this video for my friends on Instagram, and a lot of people were going stir crazy at the time because that thing in 2020 was happening and it was well underway for at least a month at the time. And people did not know what to do. People were out of work. But for me, it was the opportunity of a lifetime because I found myself being, having all this free time to do so many things that I always wanted to do that I couldn't do because of my work. I was basically working myself to death before everything happened in March of 2020 when they basically shut the country down and everyone started scrambling, trying to figure out other things to do. For me, it allowed me to come back to music. And just to give you a background of what was going on there, I had basically been on a 9-year hiatus at the time that March 2020 came. In 2011, my musical career had pretty much come to an end. It had taken a backseat to me having to work day in and day out. And I just started to feel like no matter what I did, collaborating with others, it would just go sour. So I got tired of it and I decided to quit the band that I was in at the time and just focus on sorting myself out and taking care of my financial situation and being able to survive. Over the years, I would focus on my family, and I got further and further and further away from playing. I would go years without actively playing bass. I did pick up the guitar and I went back to the guitar and started playing a lot of acoustic guitar and working on it that way. But I just had really put myself at a distance from music. I was one of those people who I never went anywhere without playing music. Like I would start my day with music. I had a CD player that would wake me up in the morning playing my favorite music. And all of a sudden, 2012 came and I found myself driving from A to B without listening to a single note of music, just driving in complete silence and only hearing the noise of the road. I just really lost touch with music. So when this happened, when I made that post that I showed you at the top of the video, a friend of mine, she reached out to me and she said, I see that you're posting these videos and I just want you to know that I find them very entertaining and I think that you have something that is very unique with your love for music and I think you should really push this harder. Now, there were some other things I was doing as well, and I had another friend come to me and she said, it's really cool how you're putting all this nostalgic stuff up, and this was not necessarily music related. She saw the music stuff I was doing too, but she said, you need to start doing this on a regular basis. She's like, no one is doing what you're doing, and I don't know anybody else like you, so you should push this stuff. You should do it. So I tried some other stuff, but I really sat on the music thing and I was really nervous about it because I took what I listened to so seriously, and I took what I was doing or what I had done in the past as being something that I wasn't really supposed to talk about, just certain things and people I met or people I worked with or events that I performed. I just felt like I couldn't talk about these things with people because I felt like if it was somebody who didn't really understand me, they would take it as bragging or, I had all kinds of reasons and reservations, but I was just holding back. And then finally, one day, my wife got on to me and she goes, what are you doing? You're just letting all this time go by. And this would be, I believe, September of 2020. And she was like, quit talking and just do something. So I had a glass of wine. I downed a glass of wine and I went upstairs and posted my first video, which is still on this channel. After I did that, I felt a lot of relief because I'd been holding back on doing something with YouTube for so long as far as related to my music and my love for music. But after that, I put out another video, and I had a friend of mine actually try to talk me out of it. He said, that's a ridiculous video to put out, but that video ended up doing really, really well for me. So my second video, it didn't go viral by any means, but and I honestly haven't checked to see how many views I've had in well over a month on that video. But the last time I checked, it was somewhere around 70,000 views on that video. So then I realized that people wanted to hear me talk about gear, so I started doing that kind of stuff, right? But I really wanted to talk more about music, and I wanted to kind of stick to my nickname a little bit that my former drummer had given me, which was Prog Rock Jock, because I was trying to figure out a name for the channel, and I just threw that name in there because it was a funny name. He made it up as a joke, and because he knew me, he was on the road with me several times. I went with that name. In the beginning, I felt like, well, I got to talk about prog rock only. So I tried the prog rock thing, but it wasn't really taking off. And then I started to dig back into my love for metal, and that didn't really take off. So then I just decided to relax and just do what I wanted to do, but at the same time, look at what people were really watching and getting into. So to this day, I kind of just do whatever I feel like doing and seeing how people respond to it. So once again, to all of you who have conversations with me, I really appreciate each and every one of you. I value our conversations. I think that it's the best thing about this channel. I've always said that. I really love talking to you guys, and it's not easy to keep up with everyone and to make prompt responses, but I do my best, and I want you to know that. And I don't always get alerted either. I find some of your comments years after they were posted. I never even knew they were posted. So if you're watching this and you sent me a comment, if you weren't being a prick, there's no reason for me not to answer you. I answer everyone. I respond to everyone. I just don't have time to respond to the other stuff. You know what I mean? The main reason that I quit playing music in the first place and came back into doing this was because I started to realize all the horrible things that were associated with the recording industry, and I wanted no part of it anymore. And I decided if I went back and started performing again and playing music, that I would have some rules that I would stick by before going back into playing with other people again. And rule number one, this is mainly for myself, that I was going to practice every day. So starting during that crazy time in 2020, I started picking up the instrument every day. I said, even if it's only for a minute, you got to pick it up. And you know, of course, 1 minute would turn into 5 minutes, 15 minutes. Before you knew it, it would be hours. I would put it down just to take a break, pick it back up, and I would just play. That went on for a while. And then of course, life started going back to the new normal, and I started having to work again, but I maintained that discipline of just trying to pick up the instrument every day, trying to grow every day, trying to learn more about the music I listen to every day and share it with all of you. That became the purpose or the goal of this channel, is to share my love for the music that I grew up hearing and the world of performing and creating music. I mean, that is the simple goal here. My other rules as far as collaborating with other people, and I told myself this in December of 2011 when I decided no longer to collaborate with this band that I was working with, it's got to be my cause from here on out. Like, the music has to be music that I write, that I have a hand in. And then my final rule, if there's going to be vocals, I'm doing those vocals. It's as simple as that. I've had for years, decades, I had people tell me all the time or ask me, why don't you play? I mean, why don't you sing? They were always saying, why don't you sing? You can sing better than that guy. Why don't you do the singing? I would hear that all the time, and I would just let it go. Now, this is with the exception of the female vocalist. I worked with some really great female vocalists who were just phenomenal, and I sang really well with them. But, and this isn't to put down every male vocalist I've ever worked with. You guys know who you are, the good ones. You guys know who you are. But there are guys who were not so good, and people would let me know all the time. So I just wanted to close out by just saying, even though it's technically not been 5 years yet, and I will say something when I hit 5 years with this channel, because this channel did not exist 5 years ago. But I want all of you to know that I appreciate you all very, very much. I appreciate everything you guys are doing to, you know, help me build this community, because we're all in this together. How have your lives changed over the last 5 years since all this happened in March of 2020? Right here, right now, are you closer to music or not? Please let me know. I'll have another video out to you guys very soon. Thanks for watching.